Hi, everyone. It's Kate Byers. We are here for day 2 of our 7-day event on the myths that successful women fall prey to that leads to burnout. So yesterday we talked about it's not your job. Today what I want to talk about is something that a lot of us women do, which is we don't have clarity on what we really are going after here. So forgive me, it is Ball Cap Thursday, and I have to make a little public service announcement before we start our discussion today. The reason it's Ball Cap, no makeup Thursday is because I had to go get blood this morning, and I had 2 options: put on my makeup and look really pretty for you guys, or all natural with a ball cap and frizzy hair. So when it comes to meeting our needs, one of my core values is my health. And my husband and I are adamant that we have our blood work done 3 to 4 times a year. We are always tracking, because I have autoimmune triggers, to make sure that our vitamin D levels and our iron levels and all of the different things are where they need to be. So health is a huge priority for us. And it didn't used to be. Health used to be the last thing that we did. It was the thing that we were always trying to get to that we never got to. And now I will come to you all natural to take care of my health. So I went and gave blood this morning, which means I didn't put my makeup on. So there you go. So what I want you guys to all do right now in the comments is, what is one thing for your health that you need to be doing that you're not? It could be a mammogram. It could be a yearly well woman exam. It could be getting your blood work done to see if you have autoimmune issues. Really big for us women in our 40s and 50s. It could just be getting your teeth cleaned. What do you need to be doing? That's next on my list. Feel these tea stains off my teeth. All right, girls, come on. We got to support each other to living a great life. So here's the second myth that we see over and over again. And if you guys have been to any of my broadcasts, you know that the reason I'm always talking to successful women, driven women, type A women, is that we take inputs and we take it to level 11. What is that movie, Spinal Tap? He's like, it goes to 11. So when the rest of the world might hear, you need to work hard, they're like, yeah, you work hard till 5 and then you go home. And we hear, oh, we have to work hard. We have to work hard until the job's done. We have to work hard till we get an A+. We have to work hard till we get a promotion. Like, we will take an input and we will go to this really, really maximum extreme. And so we'll talk about that more tomorrow when we talk about the psychology of highly driven women and how that catches us up. But what I want to talk about today is clarity. I cannot tell you, ladies, how many women I talked to, myself included, years ago, 15 years ago, who, when we asked them, like, well, what is it that you want? Like, what would success look like? They're like, well, I just think I would have more balance. What the heck does that mean? And if you don't know what you want, guess what you're going to do? You're going to burn out because you don't even know what you're going for. Think about it. When we were kids, life was very clear to us. You're going to get up, you're going to go to school, you're going to, make your bed, you're going to eat 3 squares a day, you're going to get good grades, then you're going to go to college, then you're going to graduate and get a good job. Somewhere in there, you're going to meet a partner, a love interest. You might or might not have kids. And that's like the formula we're given. That's it. Does anyone say anything else? Oh yeah, and by the way, maybe eat kind of healthy or be fit, maybe how often do we ever think about what is the good life that you're chasing? What is that life that you really want that you're missing? And you have to be clear. So everyone take out a piece of paper. Piece of paper time. This is what you're doing right now, whether you're seeing this live or on a recorded broadcast. And I want you to write down on one side of the paper everything in your life that is not working the way you want to. And don't BS yourself. Don't be like, well, I'm not really seeing my kids. Well, last Saturday I saw my kids. Like, stop with all the coping crap. Like, what is not working in your life? Are you not able to be nice to your kids because you're always in a bad mood and exhausted? Do you gripe at your kids? Are you too quick to snap at them? Do you put your husband or your wife or your partner in last place? Or if you're single, are you putting dating in last place? And you're taking that part of your life for granted. Is that causing stress in your relationship? Are you either ticked off at your partner because your partner doesn't get how hard you work and the stress that you have and how difficult it is? And they're like, why don't you just get off work at 5 and like come home and snuggle me? Like, are you resentful of them? Or do you feel guilty as heck because they're working their butt off, they get home, they're able to be present, and you're still up in your head, you're still exhausted, you're the one that's holding the family back? You have to be honest. Is it in your health? Are you taking your health for granted? How long have you been trying to lose the 10 pounds, the 40 pounds, the 80 pounds? How many different diets have you tried? How sick and tired of you are you of stress eating, drinking too much wine, eating the snack food because the latest thing blew up and now you've got to do an all-nighter and you're shoving chips and M&Ms in your face. Seriously, like what is not working well in your life? Put all of that on one side of the paper. Okay. And then on the other side of the paper, what is it that you want? Because I'll tell you what I was looking for, what a lot of our clients are looking for. The first thing is emotional consistency, which doesn't sound very romantic. But in other words, I just want to feel calm. I just want to feel at peace. I want to stop having these things that drop into my lap that blow up my day and make me crazy, that make me angry. I want to know how to handle, the colleagues who pull the rug out from under you, the mansplaining, how to, speak up at a meeting without feeling like I'm a bull in the china shop or that I'm too meek. All these little things that just like drop bombs on us all day long. The different leaders who ask me to do things with competing priorities, and now I've got to give up my weekend. And here I am. I'm angry. I'm guilty. I'm slinking around my family, telling them, "Oh, mom's going to work again this weekend." It's like this emotional consistency. So that was a really big one for me. I was like, I finally got so sick and tired of living in these highs and lows. And I told my clients that I was like, I just got tired of living on my knees. I feel like life was good. Oh, Kate's on her knees again, crying. Not like crying, like, just crying out of frustration, like not crying like, oh, I don't know what to do. Just like, I'm so frustrated being in this place. I'm so sick and tired of, gripping the steering wheel, driving like a bat out of hell, late to everything, trying to get too much done in too little time. Like that intensity had to stop. I was like, I have not worked my arse off to get to a point where I am going through life with a death grip on my steering wheel. And it's not fun. It wasn't fun for my daughter, who I'm just like, hurry up, get in the car. We got to get to Target. Okay, run to Target. We don't have time to shop in Target. Hurry up, just get where you want to go. Come on. I mean, it was just like, oh my God. It was like, there was just that emotional consistency. The second thing I wanted was a pace that was just more chill. I mean, I didn't expect to like float on clouds, like, whatever, but I was like, I wanted something that felt a little bit more like a weekend or, a holiday where not that we just laid around all day and had nothing to do, but that like, hey, let's go, do whatever. Let's go wash the dog and then take our time doing that, have fun doing that after we wash the dog. Let's go like grab some dinner somewhere instead of like, we gotta wash the dog, hurry up and go get groceries, run. Like the pace was killing me. So that was a really big thing. And the pace was making me crazy because I always felt like I was under pressure. A third thing that I was looking for was just being able to go into work and feel like I did a great job for the day and it was enough. I never felt like it was enough. I felt like I was always behind the 8 ball, or if I didn't keep thinking about work, or if I didn't like double check a report or double, do some research on something, it wasn't going to be enough. And I was going to be, behind the 8 ball, caught holding the bag, looking like I didn't know what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. And so that was this other space of like, how do you just go in, do your work, slay it, come home, and then have like that calmness, that confidence, that emotional consistency, the pace. Like those were 3 really big ones for me. And so, and what else wasn't working for me was how I was parenting. I mean, I was a good mom, but I wasn't a great mom. I did a lot of stuff with my daughter, but we did it, hair on fire, yelling and screaming, hurry up, a lot of angst. Just not a lot of gentle moments. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was always like flip-flopping between mommy dearest and mommy cool, and then mommy dearest and mommy cool. And there was like no consistency. Like my poor daughter, she probably didn't know like, what am I going to get today? Who's coming out of the Cracker Jack box today? Is it going to be mommy dearest or is it going to be mommy cool? Like that's not, the legacy I want to believe and imprint I want to believe on her. So those are some of the things that were really bothering me. Again, when I was during this period of burnout for myself and really being a workaholic, I was a single mom. So that was what was going on with my daughter and me. I think the other thing for me was that, I had absolutely no social life outside of just doing things with my daughter. So there was like no dating. Dating was a chore. When I did date, you better be interesting, dude, because I don't have much time for this. I was pretty tough on whoever I dated. It was just like, oh, dude, I could have stayed home and petted my cat. Instead, I came here to see you. So dating was just like a chore. It wasn't something that was delightful. It wasn't wonderful just to share a meal with another human. It wasn't exploratory. It wasn't curious. It was just like, oh, you're annoying me. And that's not who I wanted to be, and so there was just this whole piece of like, Kate, I don't like who you're being. I don't like this life that you're living. I don't like the skin you're in. Yeah, you got a beautiful house. Yeah, you have this, great, amazing daughter. Yes, you have this killer job that is like a dream job that you love your work. Yeah, the bank account looks fabulous and, you no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck and those things. But wow, you know what I mean? It just was like that's the resume. I don't want to live a resume. I want to live all this other stuff I'm talking about. I had no hobbies. My hobby was whatever my daughter was doing. So I wasn't doing watercolors. I wasn't reading great books. I was reading the Harvard Business Review. I was reading The Economist. I mean, believe me, I love those. But, there was nothing that made me an interesting person. If you had said, Kate, who are you? I was like, I work. I'm an international businesswoman and I'm mom. Wow, that's great. So what'd you watch on TV last week? Sex and the City and CNBC News, or whatever. Like, I don't know if CNBC was around, but it was like the news and some escapist show that I was living my life through, some reality show. So it just wasn't an interesting person, and that was the other thing that I had on my list. And so the reason I'm sharing all that with you guys is to give you some ideas, because you have to be really clear on what you want. When we ask women on the phone, like, what do you want? They're just like, my life's not sustainable. What does that mean, guys? What do you mean your life's not sustainable? It means your husband or your wife is getting ready to divorce you, right? It means that you are going to quit your job and walk away from, hundreds, if not millions of dollars of income. It means that you're going to have a nervous breakdown and end up in the hospital. It means you're going to have a health issue like a heart attack or cancer. Like, what do you mean it's not sustainable? Nobody is like driving around in their car going, my life is not sustainable. I need to find a sustainable life. Come on, guys, like, break down the facade for yourself and just write this on paper and just be like, this is what I want. These are the things that I'm looking for. This is what's not working. And this is what optimal living is. On the right side of the paper goes, this is what I want to change. I want to read stories to my littles every night and not fall asleep and actually know what I'm reading. How many of you have read a story to your child and like you have no idea what you just read? And they're like, oh, I love the turtle. And you're like, I read a story about turtles? Oh my God, I remember what I read. Right? Like, you're just not even present in what little moments we have with our kiddos. So write that on your paper if that's what you're missing. But you have to know very clearly what you want. Otherwise, of course, you're going to burn out. Because what's happening is we're just working and working and working to get to this place called less working. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do at that time? How many of you guys, seriously, put a 1 in the comments. Have you ever had like a morning to yourself? Like, maybe your spouse says, hey, I'll grab the kids and take them out. And you're like, great. And you just wander around the house. You have no idea what to do, right? Because we have no hobbies. Someone else comes in and does all the cleaning and chores, hopefully, thank God. Or if not, you don't know what to do, so you do cleaning and chores. Ugh. You're like, take a bubble bath. That sucks. You're sitting in the bubble bath going, I don't want to do this. Like, you don't even know what to do with yourself, right? Because your life is just so one-dimensional. So if you know what you're looking for, then guess what? You can start meeting those needs. If you don't know what you're looking for, you're just going to go back to work. I can't tell you how many women are like, yeah, I want to have this different life, but I don't really know what that looks like. So it's just easier to go to work. And of course it is, right? Because you're a high achiever and it feels good to work. There's a result. I know what to do. Oh yeah, I could go to my computer and I could work. Wow, that's a fascinating life, right? Like, nobody ever said, hey, what'd you do in 80, 100 years of life? No, I worked, knocked out a few kids, went to a couple wine nights at one point. I remember that. I think I took some vacations and I worked, but I worked and I worked. Man, I was great at work. Come on, guys. Like, it feels good to be great at work. And I love working. I love money. I love creating. I love results. I love leading teams. I love working with people and helping them, like all the good stuff that comes into work. I love that stuff too, but I don't want that just to define me. I don't want to, that's not what I want my life to be about. I want my life to be about, oh yeah, Kate went and did all her blood work and she's super healthy and she takes care of herself and she's doing everything she can to live as long as possible. Because one of my core values is my health, and the strategy that I choose to meet my health is I want to live to be 108 with an amazing mental, physical, and emotional health. Like, not live to be 108 and be like a vegetable, like live to be 108 and everybody's like, oh my God, you're 108? Dang. And then, one day I just go to sleep and that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And so if I don't have that clarity, guess what? All the different things that we have to do to live to be 108 and have that, I wouldn't be doing them because there's no clarity. What does Kate want for her health? I don't know. She wants to be healthy. What the heck does that mean? Does that mean you're eating the standard American diet? Does that mean you're eating keto? Does that mean you've got like a good BMI? Does that mean you have an awesome BMI? Does that mean that, you're doing proactive, holistic, I don't know, whatever to your health? You see what I'm saying? Is you have to know. And successful women, we don't ever take the time. We know exactly what we need to do at work. We know exactly what the goals are at work. We know exactly what the P&L needs to look like. We know exactly where all the gaps are in the office. And then when it comes to our life, I want a better life. You got to get specific. All right. So that's your homework assignment, everyone. Everyone grab your paper. That's what you're doing today. Because if not, you are absolutely headed to burnout or just a life that just doesn't ever feel good. You're going to look back and go, damn. I look back now at age 50 when I was 30 and been, man, I should have been like rocking the house. I should have been having the time of my life. I should have been doing all these amazing things in my, 20s and 30s. Well, I say the early part of my 30s. And I wasn't doing it. I was just working. I have nothing exciting to tell you. And now I'm like, man, I wish I had that body back then. I could have been rocking a bathing suit all the time. I wish I'd been going to the beach and learning to surf. I wish I was kiteboarding. I wish I was taking these amazing exotic vacations when I had a different level of, strength and physical capacity and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, there's so many things I look back just 20 years ago, like, man, if I had known what I know now back then. And that is why I am hellbent and determined now to have an absolutely amazing, delicious life of freedom and fulfillment every single day. Because I know, I get it. I'm 50 now. No way am I going to miss out on one more day of life because there's no guarantees, right? So guys, get that written down. That is essential. And if you don't have clarity on what you want, there's absolutely no way you're ever going to be able to move towards it. There's no way that you can integrate it into your life. All you're going to do is sit down and complain about all the gaps and all the things that aren't working for your life and be looking for this beautiful place where your company or your career just serves up space for you. And then you'll figure out what you want. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't ever work, right? And high achieving women, we struggle with this. So that is what you guys have to do. You have to have absolute clarity. And it's the first thing we do with all of our clients when we work with them. Very first 2 weeks, it is clarity city. What is it you really want? What would success look like? Not in your career, in your life. This is about women having well-being and creating success from a place of well-being, not from sacrifice, not from lack of fulfillment, not from killing yourself and giving up your life for your career. It's how can I be hyper successful everywhere in my life? That's what it's about, right? And without that clarity, you're not going to know. Cool. All right. I can't wait to see your comments. Come back and leave us any questions you want. We'll also put some links to some other trainings that we have if you guys want to jump in and check those out and get to know more about what we do and what we teach. And if you are looking for an answer and a solution so you don't burn out and you can stop being a workaholic and you can enjoy this damn life that's supposed to be super hyper successful and feel good, then you definitely want to watch some of our free trainings. And if it applies to you, book a call with our team. Let's check out what's possible for you and we'll let you know if we can help you or not.